I should actually put on my headphones. Let me see. You guys gotta tell me if this is working. Tell me if it works. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me? We had problems before where I couldn't be heard. So I want to make sure you can hear me. So can I get like a yes, you can hear me, or a no, no, you can't hear me? Is this thing on? Is this recording? I don't know if I can be heard or not. Can I be heard? All I see is hi love, good morning, happy new year. I'm waiting on somebody to tell me they can hear me. You know, they don't show me all the comments on Facebook. Okay, there's a yes. So okay, yes, we can hear you. All right, what's up, y'all? Hey, happy Saturday. So I wanted to pop on here while I had a few moments before I catch my flight. Hey man, a few moments before I catch my flight, and I wanted to pop on and potentially discuss this video that I posted yesterday, last night actually. Boy, that sure got a lot of traction, huh? Okay, that got a lot of traction. I posted a video last night um, in regards to Soulcraft Chicago and how we are trying to manage the success that the restaurant is having. A couple things is happening um, at the restaurant is people are upset or getting upset with us because of the occupancy limit. I moved the occupancy sign from where it was to the front door so that it could clearly be seen. And at any commercial restaurant or any commercial space in the city of Chicago, they give you what's called an occupancy limit, and you get a certificate from the fire department. The certificate that you get, it's based on, I don't know, parameters. I'm assuming safety, I would assume square footage. So they actually determine how many people can safely fit inside your commercial establishment. So just in case there is an emergency, um, people will be able to, I guess, get out of the spot. Um, if you do not remember the E2 incident a couple of years back in Chicago, there was an incident where it was a nightclub and something had happened inside the nightclub and people were trying to get out of the nightclub and they couldn't get out, and several people got trampled over. Um, Turn your phone up. Increase your sound. Please. How do you? Is your hand over the mic? No. Oh, wait, maybe it. I don't know. I can't hear anything. Uh-oh. We got a problem. I just asked if you could hear me. Y'all said yes. And now you're saying you can't hear me. Volume is very low. Okay, what about now? What about now? What about now? Can you hear me now? I can hear you. Okay, so some people can hear me. Some people can hear, some people cannot hear. Is it me or is it y'all? Can't hear you. I can hear you, but it's muffled. Okay. Is it muffled now? You think it's their phone? Okay, clearly me too. All right, what about now? Now can I be heard? Much better? Okay. All right. So I'll talk this way. Okay. So people were getting upset because of the success that we're having at the restaurant. So here's the deal. The deal is okay, I sound muffled. Okay. Can I be heard now? It sounds like the phone is covered, but it's not. It's not covered. I don't have the phone covered. Move your finger from the bottom. My finger is on the side of the phone. It's on the side of the phone. I'm touching the side of the phone. It's yes, but it's low. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. It's possible that you were low in the type of phone they had. Well, let me see. Maybe if I take my case off? I don't know. Let me see if I take the case off. Hold on. If that helps. Let me see. I don't know. I don't even know how to take the case off. Hold on. Let me see. Oh. Okay, so I took the case off the phone, and now I'm just holding the phone in my hand. Is that better or no? Continue. A lot of us can hear you just fine. What? Can you hear me? Yes or no? I took the case off the phone. Does that work any better now? Somebody, oh, that helped. Okay. Okay. The case on the phone helped. Okay. All right. Well, maybe that's better. Okay. I can hear you loud and clear. All right. Well, then I'll just keep talking. Maybe your volume is down. Oh, it was the case. Okay. All right. Now let me start over. What I was trying to say was I wanted to get on and just talk real quickly about the video that I posted yesterday. That video got a lot of traction in a very short period of time. Okay. I post the keto recipe. It don't get as much engagement as that video got. So for whatever reason, y'all are really tuned in to the mess on that video. But here's what happened. So we have an occupancy limit of 50 people, which includes our staff in the restaurant. And what happens is that the fire department deems, I guess, anything over 50 is a fire hazard. And so what ends up happening is that if the fire department observes that, then they can come in and at any given point shut us down, no questions asked. And we don't want to go through having to do that. So we have an occupancy limit of 50 people, and the sign is clearly posted on the front door. So here's what ends up happening. What ends up happening is that we get very, very, very busy. Now you have to remember that everything at Soul Crab is cooked to order. We don't have any fried crab legs sitting around. We don't have any crab stuffed salmon sitting around. Everything literally is made to order, so it's fresh. It's seafood, right? So what we were doing before I left, I set Soul Crab up, I let my people run it, and I come and check in from time to time. When we opened up Soul Crab, we had the line outside, which is where the line should be. Obviously, it was warm outside. Now it's gotten a little colder outside. So what's happening is that people want to wait on the inside of the restaurant until their table is ready. The problem is that we don't really have any place for you to wait on the inside. We don't have a waiting area. We don't have, a sofa for you to sit on. We don't have anything. There's nothing there for you to sort of sit and wait. So what ends up happening is the more people that line up on the inside, the more we go over our occupancy limit, which means that we're in risk of getting shut down. I don't have anything to do with that. It's the fire department and the city of Chicago, the building department. Talk to them, okay? But our license is what the license is for. So we tried a number of things. okay? A number of things. And let me try to give you an example of what I mean. People in the comments were like, oh, you should do a text thing where you text people and let them know the table's ready. Okay. Oh, you should do reservations, yada, yada, yada. Or you should do a pager system. Okay. First of all, let's just talk about that real fast. With a pager system, people steal the pagers, okay? People will get the pager. Now, remember, the pager only goes so far from the base. People get the pager, and then when they feel like they don't want to wait, they get in their car, they leave with the pager, okay? So that's number one. Number two, the texting. We do that now, okay? So what they have been doing, and this is the thing, you pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? Like when I left, and I left my staff in charge, I don't know where this whole making a list came from, because I never made a list when I was there, but it was working for them at the time. The process clearly is flawed, which is why I had to address it. But I like to let my staff think of their own solutions, and when it becomes a problem, that's when I step in. So they thought it'd be best to do a list. So you come in, you put your name on the list, and then we call you and the table's ready. That's literally what we've been doing since it's been cold outside. Can I tell you the problem with that? And do not sit up here and act like you don't know your people. Let me tell you what happens. We do the list, we call you, okay? We call you at 4 o'clock, let you know your table is ready. You don't show up until 4:50, okay? After we already called you at 4 o'clock and told you your table was ready. So because you ain't came in 50 minutes, what are we supposed to do? And in the 50 minutes that we waiting on you to show up, 8 more parties done came in, see that available table, and want to know why they can't have it. So what ends up happening is y'all be like, well, I came in and it was open tables. Well, that's because we was waiting on you to show up. Your people, they took 50 minutes to come. It was their table, right? So then you get upset. Okay, so then if 50 minutes get past, you come in at 4:51. Well, y'all text me saying my table was ready. I know. We text you 50 minutes ago, ma'am. Your table, we gave it away. So now you got to wait in line again. I got to wait in line again. I've been waiting 2 hours. And you know how y'all be? You know how y'all be. I've been waiting 2 hours. I don't understand. This is some bullshit. Y'all need better. Y'all customer service is bad. And then we get cussed out. Okay? So we were doing the list, but the list is flawed. Or what happens is that you at a party at 8. 3 people from your party at 8 come in, get on the list. Okay, party at 8 is 6 o'clock. Your party at 8 is ready. At 6:20, it's still only 3 of the 8 people because the other 5 people is still on the expressway. Or the other 5 people is still in traffic. Or the other 5 people is getting their baggage from baggage claim at the airport because they flew in just to go to Soul Crab. Okay? So now we're holding a table of 5 to go to table of 3 because the whole party is not even there at the right time. What we supposed to do then? Okay? So then y'all get upset with us and y'all cuss us out. What are we supposed to do? Okay? I'm sorry. What is we supposed to do? So then, if we give you the 10-minute grace period, which we have been doing, well, what happens is that you start blaming everything else. You will say like, well, it was no parking, or the bus was in my way, or my left titty fell out my bra, or my toenail was upside down on my foot and I had to put my toenail back in place. Okay? So the texting don't work either because the texting is still a problem. Okay? And remember, y'all saying, okay, hold a table for 5 minutes. Let's talk about organization and talk about logistics, okay? First of all, I keep saying first of all. Next of all, we got one host. The one host is dealing with 25 different parties at the same time. So how can one host effectively juggle 25 parties, a list, the telephone ringing, and trying to count 5 minutes at the same time. Just think about it. You can't even do that, okay? You can't do that. So if you can't do it, come on now, all right? So for everybody who just like joined on and people who just been following me, I've been really transparent about this restaurant journey from the beginning. 2 years ago, I started looking for, or 2.5 years ago, I was looking for spaces in Chicago. We've been looking for spaces in Chicago for literally 2 years. Everybody keeps saying, get a bigger spot, get a bigger spot, get a bigger spot. You must have never done a commercial deal ever in life, okay? Because commercial deals don't work like that, okay? You just can't up and leave one deal and go to another deal once you done signed the paperwork, okay? And for those people who are not aware, what we've done is I had retained an attorney, the real estate agent. We went through months of due diligence on the front end, right? Before we even signed paperwork. Because what you don't know is that at the time I was looking for a spot in Chicago, there was no inventory, none. The stuff that was available, the stuff that was in on Division in Bucktown, those rents were like $9,000 a month, okay? And the spots needed massive renovation. There was one spot in the South Loop, 21st and Michigan, that I saw that I was about to get. The kitchen was real small, but it was gonna kind of work a little bit. We was gonna make it work. When we saw it, the first time they said the rent was $5,000 a month. When we went to go see it again, they upped the rent to $9,500 a month. I'm not paying 10 grand a month for rent. I'm just not doing it. How many crabs you got to sell just to make even on 10 grand and then also pay a staff, pay bills, pay utilities? It's ridiculous. So then we looked in Hyde Park because ideally I wanted to be in Bronzeville, but we had a deal in Bronzeville. We were going to get the spot, the old Blue 47. Come on, Chicago, on 47th in Michigan. We was about to get the old Blue 47. We was about to get what was Joe's. It was Uncle Joe's Jerk on the second floor. I talked to the guy, and I was at Bayou Classic in New Orleans. I talked to him the day after Thanksgiving, I talked to him. This was 2 years ago, I talked to him. He told me Uncle Joe's would be gone beginning of the year. It would be all mine. Beginning of the year rolled around. I'm reaching back out to him. He said, give me a little more time. We got to do X, Y, and Z. By that time, it was the mayoral election. And I guess one of either the mayoral election or it was some election. I don't know if it was mayoral, the state senate, somebody. But one of the officials used that spot as their headquarters to celebrate or whatever, do whatever. So that knocked me out to running again. Then by the time April rolled around, or May rolled around, he said, man, we gave it to somebody else. So I literally, that was like a 7th-month process where I thought I had a space and then I didn't have one. And if you know anything about Chicago, the old Blue 47, I would have been honored to have opened up Soul Crab in the old Blue 47, because if there was no Blue 47, no Pages, no Alice's, no Gladys's, there would not be a Soul Crab Chicago. Let's just be real, okay? So the way a commercial deal works is, think about it. If you're a landlord or you're a business or property owner and you have a commercial spot for lease, are you gonna lease that commercial spot for 1 year? 1 year is like nothing. But 1 year is nothing. You wanna be able to be protected for long term. So what happened was, most commercial deals are between 7 and 10 years. Most commercial deals of any sort of substance, 7 to 10 years at least. Some commercial deals are 15 and 20 years. So my deal that I signed at Soul Crab Atlanta and my deal that I signed at Soul Crab Chicago, they're for 10 years. Once you get into a 10-year lease, you can't just up and leave. You just can't be like, okay, I don't want to be here no more. I want to go open up someplace else. You can't. And then what about licensing? right? So do you realize that all the licensing has to be in a zoned facility, and it has to be approved by not just the city, the city zoning and city planning, but in the buildings, but it also has to be a licensed food facility. So you got to obtain 2 different licenses. Like, were you even aware of that? So you just can't pick up and go someplace else. A lot of people kept saying, "Oh, it's an empty spot on Cicero. It's an empty spot over here." Just because the spot is empty don't mean it's zoned to be opened up as a restaurant, right? Spots have to be zoned, and to go through zoning is a whole problem. If a spot is not zoned as a restaurant, first of all, you got to negotiate the lease. Then you got to get the zoning. The zoning has to be done. You got to go through the alderman, and the alderman has to go and submit the zoning request through the city council. And that's only if your ticket item come up on the docket at city council, which that means to get something zoned could take a year, 2 years to even get it rezoned to even be a restaurant. Not to mention, if it's never been a restaurant before, you got to get a black iron hood installed. That's $75,000 right there to get a black hood installed. You see what I'm saying? You got to get the right exhaust. That's $75,000, and you got to get the architects to design it. So if you never been through the process before, that's why I never will open up a restaurant in a spot that's never been a restaurant before. Because I'm not finna go through zoning, and I'm not finna pay $75,000 on a building I don't own just to open up. How many crabs you gotta sell just to make $75,000 and come out even? That's a lot. Okay, I don't know if y'all knew that. That's a lot of process. Okay, so what happened was Soul Crab Chicago, the current location, 1904 Northwestern. And some of y'all don't know this. I mean, I mentioned it before, but whatever. It was another restaurant. It was an Italian restaurant called Animal. L'Osteria something, I don't know, I forgot. Longay something. Longay Market, whatever. In order for me to get that spot, because it was on the black market, okay? So I don't know if y'all remember, but I got on social media and I kept saying, "Hey, I'm looking for a spot in Chicago. I got the cash, I'm ready to go." And I got so many people reached out to me, about what square footage, what size, what this, what that. I did a 1-sheet page about everything I was looking for, what I wanted, and I would just submit that to every realtor. No lie, I had at least 70 realtors reach out to me. At least 70. Do you know how frustrating those calls are? Well, what are you looking for? When can we meet? When can we sit down? I'm here to help you. After the 15th realtor that didn't produce any inventory for me, because you can't squeeze blood from a turnip. If it's only a certain number of spots available on the market, I don't care what realtor you got, that's all that's going to be available on the market. And that's all that was there. So I had a realtor reach out to me. She said, "You know what? I think I know something. It's not even on the market yet. And the reason it's not on the market is because in order to get into the space, you have to purchase the existing business." Watch this, okay? You have to purchase the existing business. I said, "Well, let me hear about it. Let me see what they have, and let's talk." Now, if you go to an empty vanilla space that's ready to go and you just do renovations, you're looking at $75,000, $80,000 on renovations alone, okay? Plus, you got to bring in equipment. Commercial stove, commercial fridge, commercial freezer, deep fryers, this, that, and the third, dishwashers, all that. That's going to run you about another almost 100 grand, right? Just to get in. So that's 180 grand renovations, and it don't include the deposit to get in there. Most places on the $5,000 a month lease, they want you to pay sometimes 2 and 3 times for a security deposit. So your initial got to be 15. So you're looking at about 200 grand just to get in the door, okay? This is before payroll, before expenses, before you buy a t-shirt. You're looking about 200 grand just to get in, okay? So the deal was presented to me for the space at 1904 Northwestern. The deal was the guy wanted to sell his existing business for $99,000. But the problem was the people that were being presented, they didn't have $99,000. Well, guess what? Your boy had $99,000, okay? So I got a real estate attorney, retained her, Enterprise Esquire, okay? Alexis Hart McDowell is who represents me. And we started going through the process.
The process took, I don't know, 2 months maybe to go through the meetings, the process, this, that, and the third, the contract, the negotiations, all that stuff. With the $99,000, I also got all of his equipment: ovens, stove, deep fryers, walk-in fridge, pots, pans, plates, cups, tables, chairs, you name it, I got all that. So it made sense financially to pay 99 grand versus paying 200 grand, okay? It made sense financially. And when you think about Chicago, let's just be honest. How many gun shootings and bank robberies do you see in Logan Square? I'll wait. I'm born and raised Chicago. I'm born and raised on the west side, 60644. You see what I'm saying? So it made perfect sense. I'm not too far from the expressway. I'm in a very accessible location. Now here's the deal. I know ain't no parking, but it's Chicago. It ain't supposed to be no parking. Ain't no parking in New York. It ain't no parking like that. This is the city of Chicago. So if you want to be in Chicago, this is what you got to deal with. But guess what? We made it. We in Chicago. We opened up. Okay? So is it easy to say, go get a bigger location? No. Because to get a bigger location, you got to make sure you're zoned. And we also have a liquor license as well. The liquor license was transferable to the new ownership because I bought his existing company. So now I'm into mergers and acquisitions because I purchased his original company. If I go to a spot that was never granted a liquor license, I've got to go through the commission board all over from the beginning to even get a liquor license. So you know them Hennessy margarita, them strawberry Hennessy margaritas y'all like, and them mango Hennessy margaritas and the soul snatchers y'all like, I wouldn't have been able to do that without going through zoning just to get a liquor license. That's why most soul food restaurants in Chicago do not serve liquor, because it is a hassle to go through the process. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you look at all of these factors in one, you make the best decision based on all the factors that you have. And that is the reason why we chose that specific location. So it's not easy to get up and go. All right. You guys also said, why don't you use the patio for space? If you've never noticed, there are condos above Soulcraft, okay? If you look out on the patio space, there's 3 floors of condos. So that means that the residents that live in those condos, that pay that mortgage and pay that assessment every month, they have to walk right in the middle of the path of that patio to get in and to get out, all right? I gotta be a good neighbor. I can't block that space and people live there. Because let me say something. I pay mortgage where I live. My primary residence, I pay mortgage. If somebody blocking my drive, if I want to go outside, sit on the sidewalk butt naked Indian style, guess what? I pay mortgage right there, and I should be able to, and I pay property taxes. The same thing with those people who live above. They don't want to deal with that. And you know how we can be. We can be loud, we could be rambunctious. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking out for the neighbors who are also upstairs who need to go bring their groceries in and out, who have to get out and go to their cars and go to work, or whatever the case may be. They just want to come outside. They don't want to have to come through that mess all the time. And so I don't want to inconvenience them either. I want to be a good neighbor because I need to be a good neighbor for the next 9 years, because guess what? I got to be there for 9 years, okay? So it's not always as easy as saying, I'm going to go and just do heating or whatever. Then think about this. Now we're adding heating. You can't add heating onto the sidewalk because guess what? The sidewalk belongs to the city of Chicago, okay? So I can't put heating on Western Avenue because Western Avenue does not belong to me. It belongs to the city of Chicago. Also, I cannot put anything that is going to cause a fire on the sidewalk because then you have to assume responsibility, which means you can be sued because you are operating pretty much a dangerous contraption in a public space, okay? So no, I can't put propane tanks on Western Avenue because I don't own Western Avenue. I can't put propane tanks in the patio space on Cortland Avenue, because you have to get licensing to do that, number one, and you have to get insurance, number two. Okay, you can't just put up a damn fire pit. That thing got to be insured. What happens if that catch on fire? And you know how y'all do. Y'all come in there with all types of weaves and wigs and flammable everything. Let one thing ignite your hair on fire. You're going to be down to the courthouse trying to sue me, and now everything I done made in crab money, I got to pay in lawyer fees because you wanted to be warm and you wore that flammable weave down at the soul crab and that thing caught on fire. Okay? All right? So no, I can't do it. Now, in conclusion, here's the deal. I got to stick by what I said. What I said was, in the beginning, if we did the line outside, yes, you're going to be mad at me. Yes, you're going to be upset with me. But the moment you walk in that door and we're able to seat you and get you what you need immediately, there's no problems. And for y'all people who own here, there's a lot of people watching this. For you people who came to Soul Crab when we first opened, and I was at Soul Crab damn near every day, you could attest to the fact that yes, you waited in line for 2 hours, but when you walked through that front door and you got seated immediately and you placed your orders for your appetizers and your entree, you can attest that within 5 to 7 minutes, your appetizer and your entree hit the table. You placed your appetizers and your drinks at the table. You placed an order for your entree. You know good and well within the next, before your appetizer was done, your entree was at the table. You could attest to that, okay? Because I was there on the floor making sure it happened. That is the process that we need to adhere to. I understand it is inconvenient. I understand you have elderly. I understand you have kids. I understand you have a bad back. I understand your foot is crooked. I get it. You need to make an accommodation for that. Because starting today, if you want to come, and I want everybody to come, I do, but we got to do this thing decent and we got to do it in order. We have to. We have to. If you want to come to Soul Crab, I want you to come. But coming to Soul Crab means if there is a line and we are busy, you will have to wait in line. We're not texting you, we're not calling you, and we're not doing reservations. We did reservations for 18 months at Greens and Gravy. Y'all put a reservation in for 6, it'd be a party of 18 come. Y'all put a reservation in for a party of 10, it'd be 2 people come. The reservation at 6:30, you show up at 7:15. You know how y'all do. Don't act like that. Don't act like that. Do not make me call you out, okay? Do not act like you be on time for these reservations, because you don't. For 18 months, we did it at Greens and Gravy. And may I dare say this, we stopped doing reservations only at Greens and Gravy, and we had an increase in our revenue, which even goes to prove the point that, to me, reservations are useless, okay? Men lie, women lie, but the numbers tell the truth the whole time. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to pop on here and clarify that I know that it's inconveniencing you, and I know it's a bad situation, and I know that, you know, you want to do this and do that and try. Y'all, the occupancy is not our fault, all right? It's not our fault. Please, you know, y'all be cussing my staff out. And I know you cuss them out because I answered the phone yesterday. I answered the phone yesterday. I was on FaceTime with my friend Danielle in Houston, and I probably took like 9 phone calls back to back. One phone call, the lady was like, y'all professionalism is out the door. I'm saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm telling her, you know, very professional, and I don't think she knew it was me. Now, y'all just can't believe. And I know if y'all doing that on the phone, I only know what y'all doing in person. I know what y'all doing. Yesterday, lady got so upset with me. She got upset with my bartender because we said we got to see your ID with your credit card. Well, why you got to see my ID? To verify the information on the card. She gave us her ID. Her ID had expired 2 years ago. Her ID expired 2017. Then y'all get upset with us. She was like, well, you can see it's me. I understand we can see it's you. But do you have any valid ID? This ID expired. No. And she made a big fuss. I'm like, ma'am, it's standard practice to ask for ID with a credit card. It's also standard practice that if your ID is expired to ask you for another form of identification. I don't know why y'all get so upset with us when we just doing our job. I don't get it. So that's why I said I just want you to hear my heart, and please stop giving my staff a hard time. They do good work. My staff serve y'all well. My staff do everything good. The food be good. Kevin up there right now cooking the collard greens. Right there, cooking the collard greens. They doing all the macaroni and cheese. Everything be fresh. Everything be good. Okay? So please, y'all, that's why I said, please hear my heart. I want you to hear my heart in this, because this is, woo, it's tough. You know what I mean? Like, it really is. And I just don't want y'all to know, like, all the information around it. Because I think y'all be thinking like, we just making this up to piss y'all off. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you even realize all of the backstory, all the information. And go look on my YouTube, because I talked about all this on YouTube. I talked about this. I did videos on YouTube the whole way through the process. I talked about all of this. On Periscope, I talked about all of this. So go look at the old videos on YouTube, because they up there, okay? Now, I got to go catch my flight. I got to go somewhere. Okay, if you're in Chicago, come hang out with us at Soul Crab Chicago. Listen, also get there early. We open up at 3 o'clock on the weekdays. We open up at 12 noon, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you get to Soul Crab at 12 o'clock noon, you ain't gonna have no problem. Don't show up at Soul Crab at 8:30 with a party of 12 people. We done had a 90-minute wait all day, y'all. We only have, it's called food safety, okay? Yesterday, we had a party, a lovely party that came from Baltimore. I think it was like 9 or 10 of them. They came at like 8:15. It was already a 90-minute wait at 8:15, and they were really nice. They weren't upset, but I told them, I said, listen, we running low on everything. We done had to wait all day. Y'all, we are not an unlimited restaurant. Like, we only could store so much food. We get trucks in twice a week, so we have the food there, but do you want me, if you want me to, I will bring lobster in on Monday and serve it to you the following Thursday. But that ain't gonna be fresh. You see what I'm saying? That ain't gonna be fresh. If you want, I don't mind. We could do the frozen collard greens. Frozen collard greens, them frozen collard greens will cook in 5 minutes. If you want frozen, we'll get you frozen. But guess what? We cut and clean collard greens every day. We season a pot of collard greens every day. We make macaroni and cheese from scratch every day, okay? We roast sweet potatoes every day. We make cream sauce every day. We season and stuff salmon with crab and the Big Easy every day. We make Cajun rice every day. You see what I'm saying? So it's only so much we can do. When y'all come in, y'all placing these orders to go at the table, I love it. That means we doing something right. But I just need you to understand. You come in at 8 o'clock, baby, them greens is gone. Them potatoes, it's gone. Okay? It's gone. You know? It is what it is. And that's not atypical of restaurants. When you go to Dallas and you go to the Pecan Lodge, when the Pecan Lodge is done, the Pecan Lodge is done. Okay? When you go to Austin, Texas, and you go get barbecue, when they done, they done. We out. We done. All 700 pounds is gone. Okay, so you know, I just wanted y'all to understand like what go on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, you know, it's a lot happening here. So anyway, I've said enough. All right. Hopefully you guys have heard my heart. You heard what's going on, and you get it. If you have any questions, inbox me, DM me. Darius at DariusCooks.com, and I'll be here around for you. All right, but I gotta go because I'm gonna move my gate to another gate, and I got to go figure out where I'm going. All right, I love y'all. Go eat Soul Crab Chicago, Soul Crab Atlanta, or Greens and Gravy Atlanta. Okay, love yous.